there, Whimsy fans! We wanted to take a moment away from the fun to express how much your support and contributions mean to us. If you're liking what you're hearing from us so far, we'd like to invite you to show us some love on our new Patreon. Starting at just $1 a week, you can help us keep the whimsy coming. That's not just our podcast, but live streams and new projects on the horizon as well. All members get special shout-out during our live streams. If you're comfortable giving a little more, please take a look at our gift tier. These gifts are hand-picked by the Whimsy crew to bring more curiosity, fun, and whimsy to you as thanks for your support. Every little bit counts, and whether you support us by listening and subscribing to our podcasts, holding court on our lives, or subscribing to our Patreon, thank you for helping us keep the magic alive and the mics on. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/chasingthewhimsy, or follow the link on our YouTube channel, @ChasingTheWhimsy. Thank you again for all the support. Whimsy!
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Chasing the Whimsy. I'm your host, Ben. No Liam this weekend, but it's all right because it gives me a good opportunity to add to the saga that we did last month. That was Rhea, an awesome lady who will eventually become my grandmother. So we are going to do part 2. We're going to start diving into the 20s and 30s, ages between 20 and 30, not the 1920s and 30s. But we got Rhea back with us. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Well, thank you for coming in. There was kind of a last minute change on the Sunday schedule, but I thought it was, I had an extra day off this week, so I'm like, it just makes sense to have you come over. And we'll just add on to, we'll just continue your story. I think the last time we had you, we just graduated high school in 62-ish. And then you were a hotel photographer. All right. So having graduated high school, becoming a photographer, was the photography like a career path that you?
It was for several years because I stayed in it for like three or 4 years. Yeah.
But was it something that you were like, I want to do this for the rest of my life?
Well, when I became a mother, I was still a photographer, but then motherhood took over.
Okay.
Yeah.
If not a mother, do you think you would have stayed with photography?
Yes, because I met a lot of really nice, important people, entertainers, governors, senators, mayors, entertainers, movie stars, singers.
You had mentioned you submitted a photo or two to Playboy?
Just one.
Just the one?
Just the one, but it was the important one.
Yeah. Would you have stayed in the entertainment photography, or would you have maybe branched out into like more of like a journalistic aspect of it, side of it?
No, photography. I was getting into weddings,
okay.
Family situations, taking group pictures.
Doesn't Dale do photography?
Yeah, she was doing photography. I don't know. She didn't get it from me.
No, I was just curious.
Something she enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like a very enjoyable hobby, especially. I think there's a. What did you, other than the celebrity and just bumping elbows with everybody? Was there anything that you liked? Like, did you ever see it as like an art form, like the art form that it is?
Yes. the thing I really wanted to capture was like a cigarette smoke or smoke rising
Yeah.
in front of a black wall or a screen
Hmm.
with the smoke coming up. That swirly kind of cloudy kind of thing. Yes. So it was always motion and
Okay, so while you're meandering around, you would hold on somebody in a moment, and you would kind of let it play for a second, let it tell its story, and then you would capture it right when you needed it.
I always see Kodak moments. Oh, that was a Kodak moment. Oh, and now a lot of times, like at the house, I took a picture of you and Rhiannon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I shared that with you.
Uh-uh.
Playing with the bricks on the floor.
Uh-huh.
That was a Kodak moment. I sent it to you, Mom.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Because while you're hanging with all the talent,
Okay.
I'm sure there's a lot of partying going on. You've seen some stuff.
No, I never really did. I'm sorry.
But I like that you're able to kind of separate yourself from the celebrity and still kind of maintain that art side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever consider like improving those skills or going to like a college or a university or expanding school wise with photography?
No, I just thought to be creative in my own whatever.
Mhm.
College, I never heard the word. My dad never said college. My mother was a housewife. Yeah, he went to college when he got home from the war. College was never mentioned to any of us kids. None of us.
Did you ever have even though you weren't like fully aware of it, did you have any desire to continue learning in like that school setting after high school, or was it just
No, it wasn't instilled in me that I could even do that.
okay?
It was my father never ingrained that in us. Now, it was important for his second family for them all to go to college, which he paid for. But, his first family, no, it wasn't, I didn't know about college. I just didn't know it existed. And that's sad.
Would you have liked the opportunity to go to college?
Well, growing my grandchildren from very early age, I always say, you're going to go to school after high school. There is college. There is a future for you. So what do you want to be when you grow up? And Nikki, when she was 2, 3 years old, you asked her what she wanted to be. She'd say, I want to be a nuclear physicist. So cute because she was so little. But she didn't know what that meant, but
Right.
she knew that she was going to go to college. Rhiannon the same way, you the same way. You need trade school or college. You need some kind of education after high school to make it in this world. You cannot do it on a high school diploma. Can't do it unless you really like being a waitress. Ugh. And there's nothing wrong with being a waitress because I was a waitress for like 5 years, and then I went into hotel management
Right.
and bartending, food service.
Right.
Know.
Well, and no, I agree.
Banquets,
Right.
there's
No,
more.
waitresses is sometimes you have to work, but I don't think waitresses are like this is my first choice.
Oh, it was mine for a long time.
Yeah.
I love breakfast.
Yeah.
Serving breakfast. Oh yeah, you can.
I hate the breakfast crowd.
Because it's fast, it's easy, it's eggs. If you got a good,
There you go.
if you have a good chef, a cook in the kitchen, he won't allow you to take out cold eggs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean he'll make them over for you. But I love serving breakfast. It's great money. You meet people on their way to work. You have to be efficient, and it's fun.
Yeah, I will give you that. I worked a little bit in the breakfast where there's just like on the go. So,
Yeah.
And then good point with most breakfast menus have a very small menu.
Yeah.
Eggs 3 type, some toast 2 type,
Yeah.
coffee, cream no sugar.
Is that bacon or sausage?
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did your sister do anything? What did she do after high school?
She was a housewife.
Okay.
She got married January 20th, I believe, of 64. We would have graduated in June of 64. I graduated, but she didn't want to redo a term paper, so she decided she was going to quit. And then she was pregnant. I think she just found out she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So she was married, I don't know, 5 months or 4 months. And so she was a housewife. I think, there might have been some jealousy because I was working in Chicago in the Loop, taking the train, taking the L.
Right.
Had a pretty nice little gig at the hotels and taking taxis all over the place. Even taxi home once in a while. Maybe there was a little jealousy there. I don't know. I used to go to her house after high school, or after a day at high school, and go to her house and help her cook dinner for her husband, and I would go home, because she could boil water. She can make chicken, I think 37 different ways, or chicken mac and chicken rice, chicken something, or she knew how to do that, but I remember that.
So after high school, you're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
You liked the photography. We didn't even know college existed. You knew that you were, I'm going to stay in the photography because it's a decent gig. What were some of the influences for you to kind of stay on that route, to be like, where does that dedication of staying with that one thing that you enjoyed? Did you have any influences, or who did you kind of look up to?
No, all I knew is that I can command a room. Okay, everybody on the left, and telling people how to pose and stuff like that. Okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Because they're always, by the time you get to 3, everybody's blinking their eyes, So I just like taking that command. I think I've been in conventions.
Where'd you learn that from?
With the photography, I work for Rialto photography studios.
But like, where did you? Were they that?
That command?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, is your mom command? Like, does your mom command?
Situations.
And you just handle?
And there was like 300 people, and they had a podium and table, and I would stand up, get in the mic, my voice for the first time, and the camera on this side of the room, the camera on that side says, okay, everybody on the left side of the room, now the picture's going to be taken. And then I would get underneath the table, they would flash it. Okay, you did good. Now, right side of the, let's, so, yeah.
Does your mom entertain or command a room like that? Like, so for you to find yourself in these positions at these conventions and taking all these photos, and you being able to command a room, how did you learn how to, like, where's that thing inside you that gave you that?
The first time they said, take pictures and don't stop until we tell you to.
Oh, that's so good.
I know. I was the Irv Copson's birthday party at the Sherman House. I was the only female there besides Bob Newhart. He brought date. We were the only 2 girls there, and they said, take pictures, and I took pictures. And
so you honed your skills on literally, I was told to do something and I don't stop until
right. I took hundreds of pictures, and we developed them right there.
Were any of those early photos like complete garbage? Like, was there like a learning curve?
No, I would say of that gig right there, let's say I took, 400 pictures. I would say maybe 90% of them were good, because sometimes somebody would move, like, you know. But I took candids,
Okay.
which are different also, because it's just people doing, you know. But posing and candids they're all fun. It's what you see is, oh, that's a good picture, you know. It's what I want to see, I guess, you know. But I remember being on stage in high school. We were in a dance class and we did a jazz step. And I just loved being on stage. It was the first time that, you know, in front of a big audience, high school audience, and doing those things. And my teacher gave me such a compliment. She said, "You are the best one out there. You're in it." I said, "Oh yeah, thank you." You know, but I don't know. And then being on stage with Richie, that's a few years further, but it's another stage thing.
Because I'm trying to think. I don't remember very, very, very few, if any, of you performing. Typically within the house. So like now, you're a little bit more quiet, hands-on, but behind the scenes, hands-on.
Oh,
do,
yeah.
do you miss being the center of attention?
No.
You get some punk grandson coming in who's like, "Hey, everybody, look at me." Every once in a while, I feel like I've always
wanted some recognition for.
I needed people to pay attention to me.
No.
So you don't miss it at all?
No, not really. I had it a few times in my life, you know.
Right.
Right now, I'm finding joy in cleaning out my garage. I am cleaning my garage. I'm right now to the paint cans over the refrigerator.
That sounds amazing.
I know. You know how to get rid of paint?
Oh man. Oh, that makes me think. So sorry. Hold on. Because Liam and I had an adventure one night in which I had big buckets, like the 5-gallon buckets of paint.
Half full, 3/4 of the way full. What?
Yeah, I think half or yes,
or
like
a third.
Yeah. Enough. Oh, because I don't think you're allowed to throw paint into your regular trash can.
You can.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you have to do it the correct way.
Okay. How do you do it?
Dry it out.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I looked it up yesterday.
That does make sense.
So cool because I'm looking at I'm cleaned all this and now I'm
so just leave the lid off.
Take the lid off. It takes 2 or 3 days to dry out. Once it dries out, you could put it in your stuff, or you could pour the paint in cardboard boxes and let it dry out. Once it dries out, you can dispose of it. How about that? Otherwise, you have to go to a place that takes the latex and the different oil paints, which are bad.
That is interesting. It makes sense.
Dry it out. You can put kitty litter in it. You can put a lot of stuff in it to absorb and then
just take the lid off.
Take the lid off.
Like in my head, because I think part of me with Liam was like, we can't put wet paint.
It's hazardous, yes.
Yeah. Like
can't do it.
I don't know why. Same thing with the mattress tags. Like I don't know why. I've just always been told, but you can't just throw buckets of paint in and then
not down the drain, not in the sewer, not anywhere, not anywhere.
But as a solid block of paint material
that doesn't do anything except dry, whatever, can be thrown away in your garbage.
That is
awesome.
Worst case scenario, it's easier to hide.
And paint, after it's been opened, only lasts a year or two. After
why-
that, it's not.
So why do we hold buckets of paint for years?
10 years, yes, 20 years in my case. I'm going to do the paint thing probably today.
What? Like, what does the color look like 10 years later? Is it even remotely close?
Sometimes it gets oily and stuff on top, and it kind of like.
So you have to remix it.
But when it does that, when it separates, it's not good. So it's only good for 2 years. I read that yesterday.
Oh, that is wildly interesting.
That gives me satisfaction to claim my garage, because Daniel, which was in my garage for years and years, and he's a hoarder of sorts. And I found stuff that he was hoarding and things, and nothing made sense. And I'm throwing out, and I'm reorganizing. And I got a little pile over here. Danny, if you want any of this stuff, take it home. But it's not going to be in my house.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm doing that.
I'm gonna save. I'll save our paint story for Liam, because I think Liam will get a kick out of telling it. But yes, we went more of a juvenile, but nothing like felony juvenile.
Okay.
But we did definitely go more of a juvenile. It was so much fun. It was just weird because it was kind of like mostly my idea, but it was a collaboration of sorts. But yeah, we did make an adventure of like, how do we get rid of these? Because we were cleaning out the garage.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago, and we're like, how do we get rid of these paint buckets? I'm like, I don't know, because you can't put them.
You can't.
Right.
It's against the law. I mean.
So, that's so funny. Oh, I don't even know how we got here, but I love it.
It's things that that I like to do. Is how we got there. Yeah.
That's
I love to take over my garage. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel accomplished. Yes.
Man, I got lost in the paint. 62. To like 64. You're photographing.
Oh, then I was in California, Palm Springs.
What did we do in California? What
photography, hotel.
Did you move, or was it just like a side gig?
No, I moved.
Okay.
With Tom.
Okay.
Sometimes I forget his name. First husband. And
you had a first husband, Tom?
Yeah.
Where did we meet Tom?
Oh, gee, it was after high school.
Okay.
It was after high school.
Meet him hanging around the neighborhood?
Oh, yeah, I think it was the Melrose Park thing.
Okay.
And I worked at the confectionery, and he came in there. I remember that.
So 63, you're like, this is what we're in the 60s, man, and it's all peace, war, and love and stuff, man. You're just like, let's get married.
A lot of hippies. Hippies was before the Tom thing, but yeah, I did hang out with some real beatniks.
Yeah.
real beatniks, yeah. But yeah, he was just out of the Marine Corps, and he says, let's move to California. I've never run away from my mom before,
So this would put you 19 years with mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's supportive of you moving?
Yes, because I think she moved a few times, in her life or whatever. You always come back home, though.
Yeah.
You go out for a couple of years and you always come back home. I guess she knew that. And we did come back home a couple of years.
But we're on this adventure with our husband, Tom.
Yeah.
We go to California. What part of California?
Palm Springs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't they have like a military base of sorts out there?
Oh, 29 Palms.
Yeah. Okay.
It's right there. And then you travel through the mountains.
And he's able to.
Then you see Palm Springs, and it was all lit. It's not like today. Every palm tree had a light on it in every store, and it had Christmas lights on it year round. And there was 2 streets. One went north and one went south. And,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But you had hotels. You had nightlife. You had, Palm Springs is where all the kids from high school or college went on their breaks and stuff.
Okay.
I didn't know that at the time, but, I found out.
So-
But yeah,
How do we get into photography down there?
same thing. Hotel photography. There was an
You're
ad in the paper. I
okay.
needed a job. Woo-hoo, I can do this. And then I developed my own pictures and delivered them also, just the same thing as I did in Chicago. But that's where all the entertainers were. That's where I took Bob Hope, Gene Autry, and Red Skelton.
Mm-hmm.
Those three. I was the only one there. That's the negative that went to
Playboy.
Playboy. Yeah,
Did they ever use it?
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
So in theory, I mean, I'm willing to put in the homework to go looking through Playboy through the 60s.
Jesus, 63, 64.
All right. That is fun.
64, yeah. But I took a lot of pictures. I used to take pictures of me and David Jansen.
Mm.
Me and Red Skelton. Oh, I love Red Skelton. Pop. Instead of autographs,
Yeah.
I would take pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They weren't selfies. Somebody had somebody
Yeah.
take a picture, you know.
That would be, yeah, I think that would be better.
Yeah.
Except for you don't have those anymore.
No, they got lost in the move. Yeah.
What was it like moving away? Because you had your family for your entire life up to this point. What is it like not having your sister or your mom there?
Aunts and uncles, yeah.
Aunts and uncles.
They were a big part of growing up all the way through high school and then getting married and moving away, you know, that separated. But what was the question? What was it like moving away? I love that.
Oh, that's so fun. What was it like not having them around?
I felt separation. I felt a little lonely, but I like doing that too. Family, aunts and uncles, Sis and Ralphie and Philip, and of course they were all my mother's side of the family because my mother was divorced and dad's side of the family kind of went away. Not my fault, but it wasn't available to us, I guess. So, yeah.
Did you call your mom a lot?
I would say, yeah, pretty regularly, like every couple of weeks or so. And then when we were in Palm Springs, my mother got a boyfriend, and they went and saw us. You know,
They came down and saw you?
Yeah. And she liked it so much, they went home, packed their belongings, and came back, and they lived right there at the same hotel for about a year. It was right out. It was on the Strip.
Uh-huh.
Worked at one hotel. Let's see, then.
Do you ever go back to Chicago?
Yeah.
Yes, because rumor has it if I put all the pieces together from what I tried to avoid last time, you did spend some more time in Chicago before you left again.
Permanently.
It was highly suggested that
Yes.
you're like this real strong encouragement of like I should probably move some. Let's find a new chapter of my life.
3 days to get out of town. Oh, okay. And you know. Yeah, the 3-day thing was, and I was gone in 2 days. Got a U-Haul, packed up everything, and my mom now lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and we moved in with her.
Okay, so after mom, and who did she bring when she went to Palm Springs? Sister?
My mom, her husband.
Just the two of them?
Yeah, just the two of them. That was Pete. That was Pete. Yeah. He was younger than her.
Oh, yeah.
She was a cougar. I think she was like 15, 12 years older than him or something like that.
Okay. All right. So they lived in the hotel for a year, and you're like, I'm going to go back to Chicago.
Yeah, because you know what? I miss the color. changing of the leaves.
Okay.
And one of the first things we did is we went up to Wisconsin to see the changing of the leaves. You know, the oranges and browns and the yellows and whatever, and the seasons, because we didn't have seasons. We had our we had sandstorms instead of snowing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Shoveling. No, we had sandstorms where you had like an inch of sand.
Ooh.
And you had to brush it. And, it's horrible.
Okay, so this puts us right before you go back to Chicago, you spent some time in Palm Springs. What does the city? What is culture? A day in the life of differ from Chicago to California? Like, what did Yeah, what is it?
It was just work related because we had moved. It was a lifestyle. You worked at a hotel. People were always, with their best, or they had people on vacation. I went to a month after leaving Chicago. I was in the hotel and I saw somebody that I knew. I says, I know you. And he says, yeah, you look familiar to me too. He was my mother's insurance man that was in her home a month ago. And now he's on a convention for insurance people in the same hotel that I was working at. Small world.
Very small.
Very small. And I said, wow. When we were in Chicago, there was a guy named, I don't remember his name, Saul, but he was an entertainer. Richie looked up to him. And we would send notes from Phoenix or California, and we would talk to people all the time. We hung out in Melrose Park, and this person, yeah, I know that person. How about the Comeback Inn? The Comeback Inn was the place to go for pizza, and they had a big fireplace where you could see through on both sides. Oh, it was majestic, But it was the Comeback Inn, and we would send notes on our hotel napkins back home to people that knew us, that knew them, that didn't know us, but knew, So we would send notes across the country a lot. It was strange. Small world.
Is California in '63 just busy? It's like, do you know that it's the movie star capital of the world? Did it seem real uptight?
It almost was, but it was very easy. It was very. It's not like it is today. Okay. It was like you still had your doors open at night, and meeting Dick Van Dyke at the grocery store. It was just a common thing. But now, someone told me that. Of course, he's not here with us anymore. But he used to charge people for autographs or taking a picture with, and that wasn't the same way back then. It was just here.
Right.
And you're just there for the moment, It's not the same. It was much easier than, I don't think there was politics. I don't think it was, so exclusive, not like Taylor Swift. Although I probably know some of her songs, I don't remember any of her songs.
I couldn't tell you the name of it.
I could not, or even that I ever heard it all the way through. I just don't know that.
Are you socially aware
at that time
of what's going on in the world? '60s, you got the civil rights movement. We got there's this stuff
Martin
happening.
Luther King,
right? Kennedy just is elected right around 62-ish.
62, yeah. I remember we had the National Guard come out to Melrose Park. When I was there, 62, 61, 62, 60. I don't know. There was not a lot of colored people in Melrose Park, and there was a racist, some kind of up something, and I didn't understand. It had something to do with the Italians in Melrose Park. But I do remember the National Guard going up and down the street, Lake Street, says, "What's this?" And I didn't understand that. I really was not involved because I was not racist. I didn't understand it. So, but it was different back then.
Yeah. So we moved back Chicago 63-ish with Tom.
64, I think.
64. And why did we move back?
I missed the seasons.
The seasons, yes. The color changing.
I wanted to go back home with family, other family too. And the cousins, because all the cousins growing up, like Philip had 5 girls and 1 boy. He stopped at 1 boy because he kept on going till he got that 1 boy. But he had Philip, who had 2 kids, and still friends with them. The boy cousin died, but Craig. But it was family. I think I went back for family.
Any life-changing events in 64?
And you're aiming at? I get a baby. Had a baby.
So you and Tom have been married for about a year.
Yeah.
We have a baby.
Yeah, but we brought the baby to California.
Okay, so we had the baby before you went to California.
Yeah, and she learned to swim before she was starting to learn how to walk.
Okay.
About 11 months. And all that time in the car, she forgot how to walk. But since we lived in a hotel, we did a lot of time in the pool. So she learned how to swim really before she learned how to walk.
So she's born, and then part of that move in that family that
The family goes to California.
So now you got but then when you moved back to Chicago, you got the baby. We got now family.
No, she's now 2 or 3. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So were you excited to be a mom?
Yes.
Okay.
It was instant, Mom. When I got married, people ask you how you feel, Yes, instantly. When you say I do, you do change. You're a different person. You're part of a unit. When I became a mom, I was an instant mom. It was being in the hospital, and they have this little bitty baby and learning how to burp it and how to roll, instant mom. But when I got divorced, I was instant divorced too. But we also lived together for another year or so. That was Richie.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and leave it there. That is part 1 of the second installment of Grandma Rhea before she was grandma. I don't know what I'm calling this thing. But come back Wednesday for the second part of this installment. Whimsy.